Hello and welcome back to the renovation. So since our last video we've had a few DMs asking about how we put our plasterboard up. So we thought in this vlog we'd just give a few tips on how I go about fitting plasterboard. It's really not that hard. Anyone can do it. So yeah, I'll try and give a few good tips in there. So yeah, stay tuned.
So we're setting up to go live as well. I don't know why I'm doing a peace sign, but yeah. Hopefully this is like our first time properly going live. So I'm hoping it's better than we're thinking. We've just done a live on TikTok of us fitting the rest of the plasterboard. Well, you weren't fitting the rest of the plasterboard. And he's just putting the light back on. And then we're gonna go downstairs and do some tips on fitting the plasterboard down there.
Yeah, we've only got a small area downstairs to do, but I'm gonna try and just go extra and give in essence, it's just simple, but because we've had a few messages, I'll put a few tips in there.
It's hard to put it all in a message.
Come on then, Kara. Okay, I just want to point out that you'd never normally have to do this on this size ceiling, but for the purpose of the video, I'm gonna show you some tips that would relate to a bigger size ceiling. So the first thing that I've done is I've knocked holes in the ceiling just to find the joists. So I've made holes along the ceiling, found the joist, and then I've put screws in either end of the ceiling in the centre of the joist. 2 screws in either end of the ceiling. Now just imagine that this is a bigger ceiling. This would be useful. You can use a chalk line. So you hook that round the first screw, obviously to the next one. You pull the tension on it and then you just ping it up, and then that creates basically the centre of the joist all along the ceiling. Now on a big ceiling this would be useful because you'd put a piece on here and then you can still see the centre of the joist, so you can just put it straight on and then you can. It's just helpful to reference it as you go along. Okay, so the next tip would be to stagger the joins on your plasterboard, but because this is a small area, as I was saying, the tips are related to a bigger area. But in this case, we're just gonna hopefully get one piece to fit the whole ceiling, and that is ideal because obviously the less joins, the less chance of cracking. Okay, so the next tip are the screws. These are specifically for plasterboard. You can see I've got one 32mm and one 60mm. I use the 60mm for the ceiling, so it drives right up into the joist and you haven't got to worry about it coming down. And then I've used these smaller ones just for on the wall. You want to use the bigger ones for the ceiling and then space them 15 to 20 centimetres apart. If you've seen our last video, we fitted the plasterboard on our stairwell ceiling. That was really difficult, but the tip that I would recommend if you are doing that, which I should have done, is you can dot and dab, so you can use an adhesive to put it up there initially and then you can put screws in as well. Okay, so no doubt you'll come across a light switch. I remove them just because you get a neater finish when you take them off, and then you can just cut a small hole for the wires to fit through. Now, I'm not recommending that you touch electrics if you're not confident. If you are, they are pretty simple to do. 3 types of wires. You've got the earth, the live, and then the neutral. I've switched off the main power at the fuse box, so there's nothing coming through. And yeah, I said it before, but I'm going to say it again. If you're not confident, please don't try and touch your electrics. I'm confident doing it. I've done it loads of times before. I work with electrics within my job as well. So, and yeah, like I said, just be careful. Make sure you're doing things properly. Okay, so once you've marked the position of the wires on the plasterboard, I use a hole saw like this. This set I got from Wix. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was maybe about £20, and you get the variety of stuff, including the hole saw. So I used the small one, drill the hole through the plasterboard, and then it just leaves it nice and neat. Also as well, another bonus tip, I'm fed up of getting splinters from these little things, so wear a glove and use eye protection. There's nothing worse when you're trying to hold this up here and it's stuff falling in your eyes. It's horrible.